Okay, everybody, Stephen Key here, and today I want to tell the story of how I met Taylor Swift and how I started working with her. And James, you got a great photograph of me and Taylor. Please put that up. This was such an odd story. You see, quite a few years ago, I was making guitar picks, and one day I went out to lunch, and James was in the office, and when I got back, he said, Steve, guess who called? And I said, well, who? And he said, Scott Swift. And I said, well, who's Scott Swift? And he says, well, it's Taylor Swift's dad. And at the time I said, well, who's Taylor Swift? You see, she was 19 years old, and she was getting more and more popular, and I wasn't familiar with her music. And so I was a little surprised. I did a little bit of homework, and I was like, wow, this is really incredible. So I started to work with her dad, Scott Swift, and he was driving by, he was I think, in Nashville, and he was stopping to pick up a donut before he went to work. He was a stockbroker, and he stopped at a gas station, and we had our guitar picks at those gas stations all across America, basically. And we had these guitar picks that when you turn them back and forth, they were lenticular lens. We cut those guitar picks out of a lenticular lens. James, and that was your idea. I cannot thank you enough for that. And we could put 13 frames of a movie or some action on a guitar pick. And he loved it. He saw them, and he thought, wow, this would be perfect for picks for Taylor, his daughter. And that you could turn it back and forth, and it could show her strumming the guitar. Okay, so we got that call from Scott Swift, Taylor's dad, and we started working on those designs. And sure enough, James is going to show you the guitar picks up there and the display. He's going to show you all that stuff that we did for Taylor Swift. And it was just wonderful. It was really fun working with the dad and signing contracts. We had a licensing agreement with her company, and it was just going fantastic. And one day, Taylor was coming out to Arco Arena, and I was in Modesto, and Arco Arena is in Sacramento. And I get this call, and they asked me if I want to meet Taylor, because we were working through the phone, of course. And I said, absolutely. They said, well, go to, here are the tickets. We'll send those to you. Bring your family, as many people as you want, and then you can meet Taylor. So we get the tickets, and I tell my family I'm going, and I remember my oldest daughter didn't believe me, and my son and my youngest daughter said, we'll go, and James, of course, came, and we went to Arco Arena, and we watched Taylor Swift. But before she went on, there was a meet and greet with Taylor and her mom. And I remember getting there with my family, and they said, no, we'll find you afterwards and come to the trailer after she performs, and that way it's a little bit more personal than this meet and greet. I thought, well, this is incredible. So we were there watching her perform, and when she was done, we got a tap on the shoulder, and someone came, picked us up, and brought us back to her trailer. Now, imagine that we're in her trailer. It's this, $1 million trailer. It's beautiful, and I bring my whole family, and they, Taylor opens the door. I knock on the trailer's door. She opens the door. She invites us in, and I'm just amazed at how friendly she was. In fact, all my family was. We sat down, she gave us something to drink, and we stayed there for an hour. She took photographs. She was just so casual about it. She's 19 years old, and she was a pro. And I remember watching this thing unfold, and while we're taking pictures, and my son, now he's 18, and he asked Taylor, he said, look, my senior prom is coming up. Would you come with me on be my date? And of course she says, well, give me this calendar and I'll write my answer. And sure enough, she wrote yes. Now we all know she was just being nice. But later, I told that story to the local paper, Modesto Bee, and on the front page, they had this, this little blurb about my son going to prom with Taylor Swift. So I was able to tell the story that I just told you. So it's truly amazing the power of a piece of plastic that we had designed years ago. The name of our company was Hot Picks, and we sold them around the world. And I'm just so happy I got to meet Taylor and her family with just from a little piece of plastic. So thank you for letting me tell that story. This is Stephen Key, and please stay tuned to the next video, and I'll see you then. Thanks.